subscribet vorig munts.
Hello! Hello, hello, hello. It is I, Almantas, former professor, current VTuber, old man who loves old things. I have to say, thank you very much for the hype train that happened while I was standing up and stretching, you very foolish lady, you very foolish folks. But thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here. Hold on uno momento. Oh yes, I do. I have to say thank you, Corfidophobia, for the raid. If you do not know, during a calligraphy stream, 100 bits gets you a calligraphy redeem, gets you functionally a cheap comm. And so, hold on, let me turn on the timers so that people know that, and turn on that one, and test it. There we go, that should go. So Corvidophobia, if you wanted to be Crow's rating, I can do Crow's rating, that's perfectly fine. But yes, Kara, thank you for the 8 months. And thank you for the raid. That's very kind of you. That's very, very kind of you. For folks who are unfamiliar with this, Kara is a good friend of mine, and I love her to bits, and she is... Am I supposed to give you the good boy treatment, Kara? Is that what's happening these days? I find her very fun. I find her very fun. She is extremely teasable, and it is very funny to me. So I will keep on doing that. And I'm Sock. Thank you, skeletons, for making the ASMR Sock. But yes, today is a calligraphy day. Should have turned your volume down. Oh no. I don't know. I don't experience the ASMR, so I don't quite get it in either direction. I don't either get the people who hate it or the people who love it. I don't get what's happening, I should say. I don't get what's happening. Oh, we've got another raid. I didn't even get off my rage spiel from the last one because it's, we're landing right on top of each other. Hello, Shiro no Koge. How are you doing? What were you doing, Shiro no Koge? For the raiders, this applies to both sets of raiders. I am Almantas. I am a professor of sociology, and now I was a professor of sociology, and now I am a old man. I am anime online for money. I am anime online for money, and I am having a good time. Today is going to be a calligraphy day. I have at least 2 birthday letters to write, at least 2. And I will have to do calligraphy for my friend Nuna, whose birthday was over a week ago. And I will have to do a calligraphy for my friend Mabel. Because this is what I do. I like to write little letters for my friends. And I certainly owe it to Nuna, because he threw a party that I attended and I just didn't know his birthday was coming up. And I was there. But yes, Shiro no Koge and Bad Robot Guy. I haven't gotten my hellos at all, and I've got a lot of people in here to say hello to. I should probably go back and say hello to... Oh, yeah, Gravy Gator is trying out some things here. Hello to Archa Axolotl. Hello to Ryan the Space God. Hello to me. Hello to Seribot. Hello 1000 Skeletons. Hello Cookie Mini. Hello Karatsun. Hello Corvidophobia _lol. Hello iPop. Hello Archa Axolotl. Hello to, hold on, Ditigris and Almont OS and... who am I missing at this point? Shiro no Koge and Bad Robot Guy, and I was braiding Kumihimo. Excellent. It is not a thing that I have partaken of. I have not learned how to do Kumihimo. I suspect I have some friends who know how to do it. Hello, Gringotts. It is so good to see you, Gringotts Underwriter. Hello. I will warn folks that my throat is a little bit scratchy, and I am apparently on a tear with rolling R's. I don't quite know why I am doing that, but here I am doing it. But it's, I don't know. It seems unnatural to not roll my R's for some reason. I don't quite know what's going on with that. Roll my R's. Interesting. It feels unnatural to roll R's and to roll the word R. That's interesting. On Mondays before Easter. Onirin! Oh my goodness, Onirin! I was looking for you earlier today. Okay, I have to give Onirin the follow back immediately. I couldn't find you on Twitter. I was looking for you and I couldn't find you on Twitter or on Discord. I'm going to give a quick little shout to Onirin immediately, because Onirin, when I was at Offkai, I left behind one of my calligraphy markers at a bar, and she is the one who shepherded it back to me. So I am quite grateful to her for that. I am quite grateful to her for that. So thank you very much, Onirin, for that assistance on my end. That was very, very kind of you. You didn't need to do it, but you did because you are a nice person, and I appreciate that. So, cheers. Very, very generous on that front. Yes. And no, normally I spend a lot of the con taking care of people. I was up with a couple of people up till 5, 6 in the morning nursing while they were incredibly drunk. And I was cooking for people, and so, you know, it's extra embarrassing when I need the help. When I need the assistance. But yes, I think we can mosey on over. I don't really have any particular reason not. No one cooks for you? I am sorry. I am sorry. I am sorry. Cooking is, I actually might like cooking more than anything else I do in life. So for me, I mostly look for opportunities to cook for other people more than like needing to cook for other people. I love cooking. I really, really love cooking. So I mostly baked bread. I mostly baked bread at Offkai. Was how I engaged with that part of my life, that part of my mental health. I remembered to bake bread while I was at Offkai, but I didn't get in any runs, which was very foolish of me. I need the cardio for my brain cells, for my emotions. My mind feels insane. My brain is aflame if I do not, hold on, this is the wrong angle. Yeah, my brain is aflame if I do not regularly get in the cardio. Yeah, I made onion breads. Is what I made. That was my baking. That was what I was baking. Because I accidentally bought too much onion, like way too much onion, like way too much onion. Buying groceries for just like a couple of days is not really my forte, and I'm very annoyed with myself. If I had been more thoughtful about checked luggage, I would have known that I could have checked pretty much all of the food ingredients I needed, and would have needed to buy basically nothing, which would have saved me a lot of stress. And would have enabled me to make some things that I had intended to make but didn't make. The big one being cheesecake. That was the big one that I wanted to make but did not end up getting to make. And just gonna give Bridget a little calibrate there. There we go. Bridget needs calibration. And I would my favorite to make is peanut butter. Peanut butter with a brownie crust is my favorite. That is my preferred. That's probably my best recipe for desserts. I have a banana chocolate one that's pretty good, and a pumpkin cheesecake that's pretty good. But the pumpkin pecan cheesecake is kind of annoying and requires relatively specialized ingredients. The banana chocolate one is actually probably the cheapest and easiest, but honestly the peanut butter one's pretty cheap and easy. The peanut butter one is pretty cheap and easy. And in case anybody is wondering, the vegan, how it is veganized, you don't actually need that good of cheesecake. cheese for cheesecakes, right? Like it's not actually all that demanding on the cheeses. Like the ability to make vegan cheese substitutes, you are kind of dependent on how good you need the cheese to be. And if you are looking to make mild, soft cheeses like ricottas, and the kind of cream cheese, the kind of soft, creamy cheeses that you use for most cooking when you bake with cheeses, because it's not just cheesecake that you do that with, right? There's a couple of, I've made some Bronze Age recipes that involve using soft cheese as an ingredient. For those ones, you really can get away with just basically just nutritional yeast and lemon juice and tofu. That will pretty much get away with it. Most of the cheesy flavor that you're thinking of is actually nutritional yeast. It will have the same flavor profile. And the sourness and the creaminess can be accomplished with mixing the sour cream and not the sour cream, the tofu and the lemon juice will pretty much get you there. So let's get in here. I think because today is Corvidophobia, if you don't have an alternative, I will write in Crow's rating, but I am going to get in a couple of reps first. We're going to practice first, and today I think is going to be a Batard day because I am doing birthday letters, and Batard's just a lot less formal than Gothic. So though I may swap over to the 3.6. Already second guessing myself on that one. Already second guessing myself on that one. The 2.4 is a little bit less forgiving, but also its flow rate is not nearly as strong. And the flow rate of this black ink is driving me crazy. Oh, okay, yes, go ahead. We are going to do the warm-ups first. I'm going to get... Yes, there we go. That's a really good one. And hello, Hyacinth. Welcome in. That's pretty close to it. Which may be a trick of memory, right? Like you know, when you've read something years ago, how confident can you be that your memory is perfect, right? I love the F's in this font. And I think I'm actually getting better at them. I think that was actually better at them. Emo Biscuit, hello. You got a calligraphy workbook from a creative reuse store a couple weeks ago, and I just read to research pens and inks. So, there's two main theories about what to use as calligraphy tools. I am in the minority. I think that going with the fountain pens is the way to go. Going with the fountain pens, which in this case really means Pilot Parallels. There's not a lot of other people doing it, and Pilot is extremely good. Pilot is an extremely high quality company in the world of pens. I unless Faber-Castell or a couple of other companies get invested in it, which I don't think they will. Like, I can't imagine Waterman, for example, making calligraphy pens. That feels very off-brand for them. Then Pilot Parallels are pretty much the way to go in terms of fountain pens that are also calligraphy pens. The main advantage of them is speed and convenience. That's the real advantage of them. They also, in my experience, make much better hairlines. The main disadvantage of them is that... Oh, hello, Kari. Hello, Kari. The main disadvantage of the Pilot Parallel is that as a fountain pen, it can only accept a limited number of inks. It has to be fountain pen inks. Yeah, Mantis now shrimp. Yes. You are limited quite a bit on what you can use as inks. Whereas dip pens, which I am not using right now because I am lazy, and my fountain pens I inked up all of my fountain pens already, so I want to get some use out of them. Dip pens are a lot more versatile in what they can take. They are slightly cheaper, but it's not by a lot. Hello, Gamma21. It's not by a lot. So, like, an individual fountain pen, an individual calligraphy fountain pen will be like $15. And you really don't need a full set. You really don't need a full set. You just need like 2. I have more than a full set because I want to have a bunch of them, but you don't really need a ton of them. So that's like $15. So, you know, I'm decades in this hobby, and I've spent like under $100 on pens. And whereas the dip pens, you're going to get it's going to be like $7 for a full set. They're a lot more fragile. I find them to be a lot more finicky, but you can use them with things that are not fountain pen inks. You can use them with much cheaper sources of inks and even paints. And that is definitely an advantage. I have not really played around with using them with acrylics, which would be fun because I already have a ton of acrylics. I have a ton of acrylics, and I'm frankly not liable to get through them on any sort of human timescale. So if I can play around with using my dips with acrylics, that would be cool. Yes, also, how are you doing, Kari? Cool to pick your brain next time I have a calligraphy store in East Asia. I wouldn't mind. I am, despite the fact that I started with Asian calligraphy, I don't do nearly as much of it. I have an ancient sable brush that I've had since before I was vegan. And I haven't used it in a while, and I think it needs to be... It might be dead. If it's not dead, then it needs to be cleaned quite thoroughly. Because I can look at those bristles and they do not look happy. I might even try to want to use it. Extremely swampy. I can understand that. Ah, yeah. I've had many setups like that. I mean, I've worked in chemistry labs that would get over 100 degrees on the regular. But yes, actually, that was a good example right there. That little hook I just did on the C right there, I find it quite difficult to do reliably with a dip. It's something that requires quite a bit of. It's surprisingly challenging, but with a fountain, it just trivial. Hello, Chomping Soundtrack. I have been doing calligraphy in some form or another for probably 20 years or so. I don't know entirely. Maybe longer. I only really started very hard in graduate school. I dipped my toes in a little bit before graduate school, but mostly as graduate school. And I think I am probably now the best I've ever been at this point in my life. I'm probably the best I've ever been because I did not do it nearly as regularly or as intensively as I have since I started VTubing. It didn't even start off as like a major consideration when I started VTubing. It was just I wanted to do something with my hands and do kind of a just chatting stream where I was doing something other than just talking, right? And because I need something to do with my hand. I'm one of those types of people. People with very severe ADHD, right? And so I did this. I set up a hand cam with this, and I don't know. It felt very natural. It felt correct. Hello, Blasazar. Hello, brother. Younger brother. Is that correct? Does that even matter? Do we keep track of that in VTubing? Oh, Blas, thank you for the Prime. Thank you for the 11 months of Prime. Thank you very much. I have been told there's like visual ASMR, and it's not working very well with this combination of pen and ink and paper, but sometimes you can hear the pen and ink, the pen across the page. I can barely hear it, and this is going very smoothly, so I can barely tell that there's any sound. And the mic's a little bit less sensitive than my own body. So I'm dubious that any of you folks back home can tell. Amazingly few discotheques provide jukeboxes. And let's get the last one in here. That was a very gothic A, but we'll forgive it. This is Betard. This is Betard, which is a little bit of a French pronunciation. It's also known as bastard because that's the English pronunciation of it. And it is called so because it is a bastard of Gothic and humanist scripts from Italy. There are a couple of bastard scripts. There's a couple of different ways to do it. As far as I know, there isn't a real uniform set of rules about it. Mine tend toward being a little bit more ornate, I think, than average. And a little bit more... a little less on the humanist side, a little bit closer to the Gothic side. Because I like it. And they are my favorites to write in. I really enjoy the letter form I'm about to write right now. I really enjoy this effect. These sinusoidal. The W is my favorite. The W in this is my favorite. I tend to really like the W letter form. In pretty much every script that I work with, W's... when I think about how much I like a script, how much I like the W actually weighs very heavily on my mind. Which is interesting, right? Because these scripts were all designed for Latin, right? These scripts were generally designed for Latin. And so they don't natively have a W. You know, W is a late entry to the English language and to how we write. It's a later one. Latin doesn't have W at all. It also doesn't distinguish between V and U. So if you're writing... so this is also a bit of a anachronism, maybe? Might be the word for it. And there's definitely places where I put in a certain amount of anachronism. Bastard implies that the father is absent. Is what they're doing. Is what Ditigris is doing. The bastard is making a slight wordplay on the concept of the bastard. It might be. I am actually not that familiar with the linguistic history. I thought we got it from maybe Welsh, but it could be French, from all I know. Excellent. Good work, Gamma. Good work. Good work. I think I'm going to try out an alternative Z here. And it's kind of a showcase that I do make concessions to readability. I'll show you when we get to the end of the word jugs. What the more traditional S looks like. Hello, Tim Shell Show. Hello, Tim Shell Show. And hello, Noodles Bowl. And actually, yes, I do agree with that. The King in Yellow is very much more a textural experience than a literary or conceptual experience, at least in my read of it. It's possible that I'm just a scrub. And here's a more traditional S. This is the way that I learned how to write S's in this language before. All right, this is a more traditional S, and as you can see, it looks very much like a like an E. It's actually kind of hard to read. It's actually kind of hard to read. And I think I'll use this page as a scrap sheet going forward. And I will try to be organized. And... Hello, Null Pretzel. I'll be honest, I don't know how to describe it myself. I was hoping that you had a better explanation because I haven't read in a very long time, and again, I thought it was mostly a textural experience, much more so than a literary experience. So, is Corvidophobia still here? I think they may have left. I think she may have gone. And I was practicing with the 2.4, but I think... It is turn of the century, yes. It's sort of like a... Yeah, it's sort of from that, like a very, like, weird type of, Hold on, let's just make sure I get this writing properly. Let's just get this little scratch. Okay, cool. That scratch is coming out much louder. Oh, that sounds wonderful. This is one of those things that's kind of neat, is that when you go into larger nib sizes, the contrasts that you're working with are much more apparent. Which has the disadvantage of... your mistakes are much easier to see. Oh yeah, I haven't played any of the new frames. I've not fired up it in a while. So more than half hour is 17th century French from a dissertation. Oh yeah, the long S's. I like the long S's. I like the long S's. I kind of want to see if I can bring them back. And actually, Noodles, you might be intrigued by the most recent book that I read. I was talking about this the other day on stream. The most recent book that I finished was Shattered Sword, which you may have read. You may have read Shattered Sword already. If you haven't, it's a very Noodles book. It is a book about the Battle of Midway, primarily from the perspective of the Japanese carrier groups. It is a really interesting book because it is primarily a very technical history. Like, we're talking minute-by-minute recountings of individual orders, and we're talking about how individual fuel lines operate, the difference between fuel lines on Japanese carriers versus American carriers, the differences in how bombs are loaded and armed on Japanese planes, different, even just between different types of planes on the same ship. Oh, Chomping Soundtrack, thank you for the follow. But it is also very much a institutional and social history of the IJN. Yeah, it was a very cool read. It was a very, very cool read. But I know that as a War Thunder player, and a gun nerd, I think you would find it, a hardware nerd, I should even say. I think you would find it pretty interesting. Hiro no Koge. Hiro no Koge. What colors do I have in here right now? I believe that is blue. And I believe the other one is green. I believe I have blue and green at the ready. Would you prefer blue, green, or black? I should make sure I get some marks on these to distinguish them. You like green? Okay. I think it's this one. I'll get to you in just a minute because I'm going to do... You were actually the second raid of the day after Kara. And I am 99% sure that Kara would, of those three colors... Actually, no, she's going to be a brat about whichever one I choose. So I'm just going to do blue. But she is going to be a brat about whatever one I choose, so I don't need to really worry about it. Unless I manage to get red, she'll be a brat about it. But if I chose black, she's going to be a brat about it in one way. And if I choose green, she'll be a brat about it in another way. So she's getting blue. Oh, that's a good scratch right there. Is the microphone picking that up? Oh, I'm gonna move my mic around a little bit. I'm pretty sure Blasphazar, you've hung out around Kara, so you know what she's like. A little bit. Okay, now the mic is like straight in the line of fire of the camera. Yeah, you should be able to get them a little bit better now. Is that picking up a little bit better? It's a lot closer to the mic now. I mean, I said your name earlier. Oh, huh, the scarf didn't toggle on properly. Hold on. That's a problem. I'm gonna have to... Model... Wait, no, it's gonna be under animations. Scarf. Alt 5. There we go. There we go. Sorry about that. That was... Alright, Emo Biscuit. It was a pleasure to have you here. It's very flattering that you stayed up for my silly little show here. Yeah, those scratches came through really well. And alright, right, Archie, enjoy your reading. Enjoy your reading. I think if anybody could actually see what my setup looks like right now, they'd have an aneurysm. Let me try to figure out the spacing on this. Shiro no koge. I think I need to start a little bit further over here. Oh, it's not a matter of cleanliness. It's that my ring light, my microphone, and my camera are all like interleaved like in a really complicated fashion, and they're all like kind of in line of fire of the camera of my face cam. It's actually pretty anxiety inducing to look at. Just make sure that I am spelling Shiro no Koge. Right, Mr. Blasazar. Have a good night. That was very sweet of you, Blas. That was very, very sweet of you, Blas. Now, let me think about this. How do I want to do this N? I mean, it's a very gothic N. I'm never entirely sure about capital N's. Oh, yeah. There we go. There we go. Oh, that ink is looking incredible on screen. My goodness. My goodness. I will take pictures and upload these later. But for the moment, I'm just going to take a little bit of an opportunity to stretch so that you can get a good look at it. Shiro no koge. Okay. And then in a minute, I will start the comm sheet for the day. And then we will start on the actual event. So this is our comm sheet for the day. Oops, sorry. Vertebrae, welcome in, welcome in. It is good to see you, Vertebrae. And Let's go back all the way. All the way back there. Well, I completely broke tracking. There's no way in heck my tracking maintained while I was doing that. Oopsie doodle. Get a nice one in here. Grim! Do not worry about being late. It is nice to see you, Grim Glasman. I do not worry about people being late. It is... This isn't a class. This isn't actual school, right? There's nothing really to be late to. Alright, now we get to the tricky part, because I haven't had to think very hard all day. This has been very simple. From my perspective. Mouthwashing is a wonderful game. Mouthwashing is a very easy to recommend game. Oh, I'm small. Mouthwashing is a very, very simple to recommend game. I have very little challenge recommending that one to folks. Obviously, if you are squeamish about certain subjects, it's a really difficult game for people with certain triggers, right? The trigger warning list for it is extensive. But if it isn't triggering for you, then it is an incredible experience. I will say that as much as I am a mouthwashing fan, it's not really much of a game, right? It's a book that is game shaped. It's a very, very intense short story. Emphasis on novel, right? Emphasis on novel. Right, it's actually I should say visual novel is actually perfectly fine. It is a visual novel that happens to involve the ability to walk. Yeah, I haven't played How Fish is Made yet. I haven't played that one yet. Yeah. I mean, I don't begrudge people doing that. I think it's fine. I think it's perfectly fine. I actually like those sorts of games quite a bit. I like a lot of walking sim. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, it's worth knowing some of the triggers for mouthwashing. It's if you have a particularly troubled history with drinking or with sexual assault, it might not be something you should engage with directly. What are the like canonical walking sims anyway? I don't know. I feel like the term was intended to be derogatory, but didn't really land. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like the first one I think of is What Remains of Edith Finch. Yeah, okay. So it is. So Edith Finch is what you thought of as well. I am going to go slightly insane. My ad bot is sometimes remembers to tell me when ads are starting and sometimes doesn't. I'm going to lose my mind. Who? I need to know when the ads are happening so I know when it's safe for me to go to the bathroom. Okay. I figured out what the problem is, and it's for some reason it doesn't. Something in the updates for Streamerbot causes the ad. The incoming, the starter. Dear Esther is your least favorite? Okay. That's the first one I played. I like Dear Esther all right. I didn't love it. I see. Hold on a second. I have to clean up my desk a little bit. There's some stuff off screen that I'm hitting my elbow against repeatedly. So that's a problem. You go back there. You go up there. Hmm. I was about to bring up Stanley Parable. I was about to bring up Stanley Parable because my kind of read of like the point of the walking simulator label is to criticize the games for being mechanically simple. Oh, Kirill. Hold on. Let me give the shout out to dear Kirill. Old People Belongings, Bingus Poletooth, and Kirill Orc Florist. Player number 3, Revloshon, Orc Vibes, Glala Hughes. Old People Belongings. What does this mean? What is it? What did he mean by this, chat? What did he mean by this, chat? Were you looking at estate sales? Were you rifling through estate sales? Because that's a hell of a stream idea. I might do that. That's kind of a hell of a stream idea. But welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in Kirill's community. My name is Almantas. I am a former professor of sociology, and now I am online. I am anime online. That is what I do. I am anime online. Today is a calligraphy day. I am doing a relaxing calligraphy stream. My friends, I've got a couple of friends who have birthdays I need to write letters for. And oh, I mean, yes, we all know the Zilla streams. The microphone there. I apologize. The microphone again. And hello Tohu Vahohu. Kirill, you are going to get green. You are going to get green. Would you prefer Kirill or Orc Florist? We get various pieces of furniture. An excellent choice. An excellent choice. But let's go with green because Orc. And I used black. And I used black. I will just accept that this is going to be a partially black letter because I'm forgetful. I just thought about the color green and didn't actually grab the green pen. I think it has a cool effect anyway. It has been good so far, Kirill. It has been good so far. But yes, folks, I didn't even finish my spiel to the Raiders. I am Almantas. I am a former professor of sociology. I do lots of calligraphy streams. This is my main type of content. I also paint miniatures. Tomorrow, I will be joined by Lore Master of Sotek to discuss some of the politics of Warhammer Fantasy Battles lore. I do game sometimes, because this is twitch.tv, and I think John Twitch will in fact come after you if you never play a video game. But yes, thank you for raiding me. John Twitch should fight me one-on-one. And yeah, I am excited about tomorrow's stream. I am trying to take it a little bit easier this week than I usually do because I think I have been... Oh, Golden Kenji! Oh my goodness, you just... Okay, Nakaboke raid, Nakaboke raid. Now I see what happened here, now I see what happened here. Now I see what happened here. Hold on, let me get the shout out in for Golden Kenji. What were you guys doing? What were you guys doing? I just was, my name is Almantas at Nakaboke. Hold on, not Nakaboke, Golden Kenji. And Kaji Oniyama, thank you for the follow. You were doing Peak. You were doing Peak. Was it all Nakaboke? Was it who was it with? Who was it with? I am interested in Peak because I find the friends slop games interesting. Though I don't tend to play them as much. Nanase Kane, thank you for the follow. The whole crew, all four of you. Okay. Well then. I am Almantas, former professor of sociology, current VTuber, old man who loves old things. I am anime online these days. I stream mostly pretty late at night, and I mostly do calligraphy streams and other handcam streams because people tell me my hands are pretty. People tell me my hands are pretty, and I appreciate that. I appreciate getting compliments, so I keep doing it. Thank you for the raid, and thank you, I thank you Bodega and Kane and Golden Kenji, and how do I have to say hello to? Who do I have to say hello to? Hello to Kaji Oniyama, and hello Sins Saga, and hello Nanase Kane, and hello Zentricus, and oh, there we go. Compared to Lethal and content warning, this game is really fun. Okay. The only one I really played was... I played a little bit of Repo and some amount of Lethal. And Lethal's just like a little bit below my ADHD brain threshold to really keep my attention in the way that something like Deep Rock does. Mr. Kenji. The pens that I currently have inked up are green, blue, and black. Which would you like for my little... Yeah, I love Deep Rock. I played Deep Rock with Rotmost a while ago. Oh, and hello, Dodo King Dulak. I really like co-op action games. I don't stream them super often, even though they're a great type of streaming game because... this is the kind of voice I'm using while streaming. Numi_Fizorumi, thank you for the follow. And Sin Saga, thank you for the follow. A pleasure to get you guys following me. But yes, Golden Kenji, would you like black or green or blue? I like that Lethal Company is so clearly cheaply made. I like the absolute disrespect it has for the idea of doing truly expensive game development. I like its contempt for that. I like its contempt for the Gamba world we live in. But I just kind of found the actual experience of playing it to not actually be all that fun. The most fun I had with it was while playing with some people who didn't, who really were looking forward to teaching me how to play the game and figuring out ways to throw as hard as I possibly could without them noticing. The number of times I got myself crushed by the landing craft. And we are doing Betard today, not... So it's a slight, it's a bit of a gothic variation, but yes, let's get it in here. I'm just doing the spacing in my head right now. Okay, I think this should be... Golden Kenji is relatively long. So I think over here should do it. And... but yes, I am glad that you had a good time with the friend slop. And let's get in here. Thank you. Let's talk about it. That's very sweet of you to say. That's very sweet of you to say. I do need the reminders. I do need the reminders that people find this very cool to watch because, you know, I have been doing this for a very long time. So to me, this is very, you know, it's just, when you get acclimated to anything, right? So it's good to know that people still appreciate what I'm doing. Oh no, this is and let me turn off the backlights so that it's a little bit so here have been the raids so far. Karat soon. This blue looks amazing on the camera. The camera's being very generous to some of these colors. Some of the colors that the camera is not so generous to, but this one looks really good on my monitors. So Oroshizoku is wonderful like this. I will get to your question in a moment. Vertebrae. And yes, here you are, Golden Kenji. And if Kirill didn't already left, there's Kirill's Orc Florist. What distinguishes calligraphy from regular handwriting? I mean, it's fundamentally calligraphy is ultimately just it is literally just beautiful writing, right? That's all that it means. I don't really know if there's anything else to say about it. In my practice, the big distinction is the tools you use. It's if you use writing tools that are deeply impractical is what it comes down to. If you're using it's when you are using a tool that is impractical to do with to do basic handwriting with. A big factor is variable line width. And so there's two ways of doing variable line width, one of which I know how to do, the other which I fundamentally do not. Which is, I don't really know how to use pointed. I might take a stab at learning pointed again one of these days, but I found pointed incredibly frustrating. And with a pointed nib, I have a couple of them on hand, I just never use them. It's got tines like this, and then you press hard, and then you press and it causes the tines to push outward, and that makes it wider. The variable line width on this is accomplished by bending and twisting the angle of a wide nib. The broad nib is what they call these, and so you get these variable line widths. So you can see, right, like this S, and these hairlines and stuff by. In this case, it's by untwisting. It's by anti-twisting. If you just move the pen normally, it will twist in certain ways. And while you're doing these kinds of calligraphies, these traditional scripts, you slowly rotate the pen to keep the angle of the nib relative to the page fixed. And so that's kind of like the core of it. That's kind of the core of it. And that creates these interesting variable line widths. And if somebody was really paying attention, they would notice that I do the exact opposite for Fs. The Fs, I do a lot of rolling into it. I twist, I lean into the intrinsic roll, and that creates these really dramatic. I mean, yes, like a brigand meeting a nobleman. I mean, I have a lot of affection for graffiti as an art form. I mostly don't do calligraphy because I'm a shut-in. I mostly don't do graffiti because I'm a shut-in, because I'm a horrible shut-in. I'm very lazy and a shut-in and a coward. Yes, Grim, that is accurate. I am a fine motor control guy. I am a fine motor control guy. The study that I have not picked up that I know is inevitable and I just haven't bought the tools for it is lockpicking. That's the one that I know I'm going to pick up one of these days, and I just haven't gotten around to it. That's like inevitable, is lockpicking. Vertebrae. So, the way that I do things while I am on stream is that if you are doing a small, if you are doing a small, thing, like a few words, right? If you're doing your name or like a short sentence, a short simple sentence, that is 100 bits. That is 100 bits. And hello, beautiful angel. If it is longer, DM me and we will negotiate. I need to work on a rate sheet. That is like legitimately a thing I need to work on. I have taken commissions before. I take them on my Ko-fi, but I don't have it set up very well at the moment. It is not my most urgent problem right now with my setup, but it is. I am past the point of doing it as casually as I have. I know at least 2 people are waiting on me to come up with a pricing schema for doing things that are multiple pages long. How much for the entire B movie? I mean, I would have to, again, I don't even have the rate sheet set up, right? I don't even have the rate sheet set up. I would do it. It would take me forever, but I'm not opposed to it on any moral grounds. I don't have any principled reason to not do B-movie. But also I should have said to the raiders, yeah, Kirill is here. Kirill is here, Grey Nothing. To the raiders from both Kirill and from Golden Kenji and from if you need to raid and run, I know that I personally like to raid out when I am cold, tired, hungry, etc. That's many words. That is many words. Today's basic project. I mean, so I would usually say, let's call it 20 cents per word. It is relatively short. I mean, I don't know what would be a long script for a movie. I don't know what that... Movies are not usually thought about in terms of words per movie, right? That's not a usual way of measuring things. It is many for a calligraphy project. It is many for a calligraphy project. But I know that Tarantino movies are considered very wordy. Huh. I do know that scripts are very uncondensed as a medium relative to other forms of writing. That they're very you have very few words per page compared to a standard book. Because there's a lot of white space left to make it easier to follow and notice where stage directions go. You know, they're designed to be read in a specific way that is not the same as for books. So 3 minutes per page, that I could believe that. I don't know. I could believe that. Again, like I know Tarantino movies are considered wordy. Also, oh, that's a good point, Ditigris. That's a good point. So you can write notes, and that's a good point. With a lot of curse words written in calligraphy. The person who does really good stuff with typography in his movies is Edgar Wright. I think Edgar Wright does very fun stuff with that. It's part of his signature style, and I do love him as a director. I like Edgar Wright a lot. Comedy is an excellent art form, and one of the more insane hypotheses I've heard that I really like is that anybody who wants to do action should be forced to do comedy for years before they're allowed to touch action. I think I just think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. Average word count 9K for movies. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, Jackie Chan's just an incredible director. This is a letter, by the way, from my friend Capable Mabel. Mabel has been a dear, dear friend to me. I adore Mabel. And her birthday is the 3rd. Her birthday is the 3rd of July, so it is time to hustle. This is always a little bit tricky for me to do, so underline, top line. There we go. Hold on, let's get over here. So this is the underline right here. This is the midline. This is the top line. So let's start here. Well, and I'm behind on Nuna's. Nuna's birthday was like a week ago, and it's gonna be tonight. I do kind of need deadlines, though. It is worth saying. I benefit from certain types of structure. Ooh. Send a newsletter for them this morning. Oof. Getting a little bit close to writing in Froctor here, which is not a script that I actually practice very much. But Froctor is a super cool script. Yeah, there's such a thing as having unreasonable deadlines. And I mean, they're a client, right? They asked you if you can do it, and you said no. How do I say this? How do I say this? Because Mabel has been helpful for me with some interpersonal navigation. She's helped me when I was a little bit lacking in insight into some things. Her emotional intelligence is what I'm looking to put into words here. How do I say this? How do I say this? Consistently ask for unreasonable deadlines. Brutal. Shouldn't have written really. That was a waste of space. And I'm burning through space really fast. You don't always get to choose your clients, unfortunately. I was thinking more about, like, you might not be the person who actually takes, if you work in an organization, right? Rather than being total freelance, the sales team and the management may take on clients on your behalf, and you don't get a lot of choice about it. You just gotta get the ones you get. Hmm. Let's do an ampersand. And let's get in here. I would just say intelligence at this moment, usually, especially if I was talking to her. But I know Mabel, and I know that if I just call her smart, she's going to be a brat about it. Because that's why we love her. Yeah, I mean, it's in theory, right? In theory, Diatigris, a crunch job is going to pay better, and you don't always have a lot of control over which clients are looking to take work, right? There's not an infinite pool of people looking to take work. So, depending on what's available, you know, you take what you're doing, right? A lot of the time. Let's reorient this a little bit. Let's repin this. Da, 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 da. Let's repin this a little bit. Graphic design. I see, I see, I see. I do believe I knew that, actually. I just didn't want to answer for you. Because that would be rude. No, I mean, still, matter of politeness, right? It is important to be polite at all times. Costs me nothing. Also, I was, like, pretty sure, but I wasn't 100% sure. I don't trust my memory very much. And I should have space to do this. It's Pekon Echo. It's Pekon Echo. Have a good night, Pekon Echo. It's always good to see you. It's always good to see you. There we go. Oh, hold on, that was off screen entirely. Let's hold on a second. Let's fiddle around with the camera angles here for a second. I'd have to literally move my microphone so that I do not squish this. Oh, hello, camera. That's the tracking camera over there. Happy birthday, Mabel. You are sweet, witty, generous, and supportive. I really appreciate your honesty and emotional intelligence. Thank you for being my friend. Almantas. It isn't until I got to the end here that I realized how few words I have when I'm using the 3.6. My goodness. My goodness. That really did chew through the budget really quickly. Oh. Which has its advantages, right? I do think it looks better in the 3.6, but it is hitting me that could have been a lot sappier with my good friend, which I love to do. I love to do that. I love to do that. So I'm going to use the bathroom, and we are going to be back in a few minutes. Enjoy the fan art gallery. I believe we're still currently at 69 fan arts. Exactly, Blue. Exactly. That was a little bit what I was going for. So, folks. Oh God. Sorry, the ad manager just deloaded for a second. Literally stopping me from running ads. Oh my goodness, I can't run the ads. Have a good night. Let's talk about it. Have a good night. Let's talk about it. I need to use the bathroom. It's not going to let me run the ads. Let me run the ads. Fresh. Ad manager. Why? We are encountering the dumbest form of scuff imaginable. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. I think I can hold on. Is it / commercial? Have to wait until after July? That's fine. That's fine. / commercial. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. I will be back in 3 minutes. We are back. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. I'm gonna reset things a little bit. Oh, jeez, excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, hold on. I'm just reorganizing things a little bit on my desktop. It did just hit me that I was pretty confident about it, but I wasn't entirely 100% sure. Dodo King Deluxe was here earlier, and this week's schedule is made by them. This schedule is made by them. So that's very sweet of them. Okay. And I'm just... It's just a bit of a mess on my desk that I am cleaning up. I think we should be okay. The Ralsei voice is out. I mean, I can lean into it a little bit more. The Ralsei voice is a very, very profound ASMR voice. I'm just talking a little bit more deeply and slowly, I think, than I usually do. I'm not going. I don't think I'm doing full ASMR voice. Am I doing full ASMR voice? I can't actually tell. Again, I don't experience ASMR, so I'm flying by instruments, as it were. Okay. Is it a problem? I mean, if it's an issue, I don't know. I'm following my, what do we call it? Not at all. Okay. That's good to hear. I am just kind of following what my throat wants to do, right? I'm trying to take it easy on my throat. My throat has been sore since the end of Offkai. So I'm just kind of doing what feels natural to do, and just kind of going with the flow on that. My COVID tests have so far been negative, which I'm grateful for, because I would really, really prefer to minimize the amount of times I get COVID in this lifespan. I'd be quite grateful if I managed to not get COVID again between now and the end, so to speak. Hold on, just adjusting my microphone arm here a little bit. There we go. And then hold up a second. Cool. Sorry, apologies. My camera is. I'm just analog, right? Yeah, so I would prefer. I would definitely prefer to get sick as little as possible. I mean, I have throat damage from a COVID infection. I wouldn't be a streamer if it wasn't for COVID. My voice sounded quite a bit higher before I got COVID. It was a bit higher, and it's a little bit hard for me to do it now. If I'm sloppy, I will end up speaking with my former voice. But I try not to, because it hurts my throat quite a bit in the long run. Like, it feels natural to do for like a few minutes at a time, but then it hurts my throat quite badly. So I try not to do it very often. There we go. Yep, I have a bit of throat scarring, I think. And that throat scarring has fortunately made my voice sound quite a bit nicer for streaming purposes. But there is no guarantee that my next time getting throat scarring will do that. So, yeah, like I said, I worry about it. I worry about it quite a bit. So I, don't really eat out, don't really travel very much. I live a small, simple life. There we go. That's a really good A. There we go. Luna. I like Luna. Oh. I nudged my mouse and it was just resting on top of the close OBS button. Very, very stressful to even see that, like, that highlighted. Birthdays, you say, Nyanomancer? I do say birthdays. I do say birthdays, Nyanomancer. Hello, Nyano. And hello, Kira Kat _. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. It's a pleasure to see you here. It's a pleasure to see you here. I mean, not Hitler, because that was April 20th. Who are you going for, Nano? Who is the birthday boy? When's your birthday? When's your birthday, Nano? I'll get you one too. It was Sunday. Did you tell me? Did you tell me? I'll get you this stream. But I didn't remember you telling me. Yeah, don't count on telling me things at off, guy. We were both drunk. And thank you, it's very kind of you to say Kira Kat. I will get you after I get Nuna. Nuna's a very late birthday. Nuna, I'm very late on. Nuna's birthday was at Hawkeye. So that means that Miano's birthday is June 29th. Is that accurate? Is that accurate? I'm going to write this down. Uh, I found Offkai extremely stressful. I found myself very, very stressed out by Offkai. I will have to add it in the phone calendar later because adding things in the phone calendar will take me like 20 minutes. I wrote it down. I wrote it down in Notepad, but it will go into the phone calendar with a 2-week notification. Oh yeah, I have a lot of anxiety around illness and around impressing people. I get very, very worried about impressing people. I get very, very worried about impressing people. So, what do I say? How do I... Nuna can be a hard man to compliment. Nuna can be a hard man to compliment. I dealt with that okay. Offkai is actually not nearly as big as Magfest. In terms of just... I've only been to 2 cons in like 20 years. I'm not actually much of a convention goer. I go to cons because they are a business trip for me, right? They are a business trip for me. Yeah, that's the core of it. I did enjoy making bread. I do like making bread. No, I live a simple, small life of baking bread and cookies and talking to people and that's the kind of life I like. But the con was, you know, it was to meet my peers, right? To meet my peers, my colleagues, and learn some things about the industry, and it definitely involved getting out of my comfort zone. Yeah, no, I'm stealing from you. It's stuck in my head, so it's going on the page. Yeah, I'm pretty habit coded. No, Niano, you're the wizard that appears to inconvenience everybody everywhere. Nobody has to seek out Niano. Niano finds you. Crap! I actually owe Nuna something on top of that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm the one who stays still. Niano's the one who moves constantly. Also, Niano, you will probably appreciate that. I showed Bug Wizard Arena, and she was like, I need to be in on this. I need to be in on this. We've already got 4 people who want in on doing Wizard Arena. I think if we get 8 people together, we can just do like pickup matches. We can just do like shirts versus skin. So I don't think it would be all that hard to find 4 more people. Yeah, that game Emperor's Armpits. And yeah, Archa, if you want to hear something horrible, I am definitely outside of my youth. I am very not youthful as a man. And I was hanging out with my younger brother before off-kai, and he was looking at me and he was squinting, and he said, "Did you get taller?" I have been very lucky, Nano. I think my younger brother looks older than me now. I think my younger brother looks substantially older than me at this point. I've gotten Keanu Reeves'd. Yeah, Kira, that's kind of what happened to me. Was I looked like I was like 30 to 40 when I was like 14 years old, and it just stuck there. Yeah, Archer, that's a lot of it. I don't drink a lot. I did get drunk at off-kai, and I do drink on stream occasionally, but I'm not a heavy drinker, and I don't smoke at all. The vegan diet is probably not hurting. That's pretty cool, Archer. A deal old me is old and leather from blacksmithing for 40 years. Yes, Kira. This is a pilot parallel. That's mostly what I use. If I'm using a fountain pen, it's almost always a pilot parallel. My dip pens are speedballs, which sounds bad when you say it like that. And the ink here today's ink, I am working on getting through this ink. I want to get a different ink. Is Sailor Black. And the paper of today is Strathmore. Strathmore. I love Strathmore. The Strathmore paper is wonderful. So yeah, Speedball makes the preferred dip pens. And actually, this is a fun detail. Very few people caught on for this. Very few people noticed this, but I thought it was fun. Here's the nib holder for the Speedballs. It's currently not loaded, obviously. But this is what I used for holding my hair up at off-kai. My preferred method of keeping my hair in place is the chopstick method. And this is what I use instead of a chopstick. used to be a Rhodia. My hair's quite long. My hair is quite long, Kira Kira. Oh, Niano. Yeah, Niano's a fellow pen nerd. We didn't manage to set it up, Niano, but there was a third VTuber pen nerd. There's a third VTuber pen nerd, and she was at Off Guy. Yeah. May's AP Cafe. We did she came by while I was signing things, and we did a little thing where I was writing, and on the left side, and she was writing on the right side. It was very fun. It was very fun. It was very, very fun. I like May a lot. May's super cool. May is super cool. She rocks. Yeah, Lamies I like okay. There's some hiragana and some kanji on there. There's some hiragana and some kanji on there. I just want to make sure I spell her name right. Let me do the shout out. I don't think you're a basic bitch for that. But that's May. That's May. She's also a pen nerd. She doesn't do a lot of hand cams. Unfortunately. But Lamy is a company. I have a Lamy. I have one Lamy. I have a Lamy Safari. They're a fountain pen company. I have a Lamy Safari. It's not my favorite. And the problem that I have with it is that Lamy Safaris are quite cheap. They're quite cheap. So that's not really the issue though. The issue though is that it does this triangle. It has this triangle grip. And my index finger is pretty curved. And so the triangle grips I actually hate. I actually hate triangle grip. I actually hate them. I end up rotating the triangle grip like super hard and having to like hold it at very weird angles. Or they're just uncomfortable. I don't like the triangle grips at all. My favorite pen is this one. This is a Faber-Castell. Faber-Castell is actually probably my favorite. If you have small hands, Kira, actually May has tiny hands. May is tiny. So she, yeah, Faber-Castell makes pens. Yeah, Faber-Castell makes great pens. Pilot is very good. I've been I sing the praise of Pilot so much, but this is my actual most commonly used pen. Is this Pilot Metropolitan. Pilots go pretty small. Niano is a Twisby guy. Niano's favorite pens are Twisbys. I don't know how they are in terms of hand size. But, oh, Waterman's also small. Wait, I thought you were Twisby. I thought Twisby was your favorite. Have I been slandering you? What is your favorite? And this is actually my like oldest like decent pen I've got. It's a Waterman. I don't have it inked up at all. And you can see the Waterman's actually quite small. The Waterman's actually a little bit small for me. Yeah, Mont Blanc will also, I feel, kind of run small on the body. Again, I really like the Faber-Castell. I was thinking about getting a Faber-Castell, one of the walnut. Pilot Vanishing Point. The gimmick. The gimmicky wizard. There's a Mont Blanc store in in the financial district that's doesn't really have any pens or paper stuff. I was very disappointed. It focused on like suitcases and stuff like that. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel that I'm out of practice now. I've lost my flow. I can feel the loss of flow here. I'm gonna make a horrible mistake. Tomoe River uses the same sourcing as Rhodia, doesn't it? Am I wrong on that one? Yeah, no, I feel like something you would know. I think Tomoe River and I think so. Rhodia changed their paper sourcing a few years ago, and now they kind of suck. Okay, well, I thought it was that Rhodia just was buying Tomoe River was what I thought was going on. I might be wrong, but the last 5 or 6 Rhodias I've bought, I've been pretty frustrated with. So I've been trying out new things. Strathmore has been nice. Strathmore, though, it feels weirdly like moisture sensitive. Your other palette? Yeah, Pearl Paint. Yes, it was Pearl Paint, yeah. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, kitty cat. I haven't bought a new pen in a while. Okay, you haven't found anything about that? Okay. It's entirely possible I'm misremembering. But I might... I think the reason why I didn't buy Tomoe River was that it was actually more expensive than Strathmore when I was buying my last set of papers. And, like... Come on, it's Strathmore. It's Strathmore. You know, how much more deluxe is there really to get? I mean, there is, but... That's fair. I am mostly thinking about papers that are kind of like viable for practice. I probably should be thinking more seriously about making sure that I'm getting papers that are set up for publication quality rather than just like doing practice, because one of those things I need to be doing at this point. I have not. I do take commissions, but I don't really advertise it, and I haven't set up my Ko-fi to particularly make it obvious, and I haven't set up any of my stuff to make it obvious that I am selling things on Ko-fi. And so it's one of those things it's not the most urgent thing for me at the moment. but I it's not the most urgent thing for me at the moment, but I am very worried about I shouldn't say very worried. It's something I should be doing. It's something I should have done months ago, right? It was like really make my Ko-fi storefront look good and make it easy to find, which I have not done either of those. A good lad who knows too much about guns. I've never learned digital art, to be honest. The only digital medium I've done like any work in, and I did not produce anything viable with it, was Blender. Gotta be tight here. Gotta be tight here. Blender is, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of amusing to me that I, even more than my mind, I kind of live in my hands, in my fingers. That's kind of like the real place where I experience things. And so the idea of working without the very specific feedback of feeling how the paper fibers fight against the nib and the ink, I would really struggle, I think. I would feel very lost. Like paper tablets. I mean, I will not lie. I will not lie. Again, you can see I don't really draw. I don't really draw very much. I'm doing calligraphy, right? It's a bit different. And I get very I am currently very frustrated uh, with buying electricals, with buying electronics and electricals. You can see that I am using a Logitech C920 for my face cam, for my tracking camera. The camera that I am using right here, this camera, that is my camera for doing hand cams. That is a iPhone 10 that I bought to be a tracking camera, and I probably spent somewhere on the order of 100 hours trying to get it to track my face, and it does not like it. It does not like my face. And it's spending $100 on something to just use it for a second tier purpose is definitely puts me in a very cautious mindset around yeah, I'm using again, I'm using a webcam. I'm using a webcam into Vbridger, which is not intended, right? That's not. I'm using the MediaPipe Vbridger. I do have facial hair. I have a lot of facial hair. I will be honest though, Archa, the way that it reacts makes me think that Apple just thinks that I'm so ugly that it just breaks entirely. That the camera just looks at me as like, I don't want to look at this at all. Mustache also messes up the lip reading. Oh, there we go. There we go. I can feel the groove returning. That's actually a lot of why it works at all, Ditigris, actually, and that's a lot of why I stand by using Vbridger, even though I'm not using an iPhone. And people say only use Vbridger if you're using an iPhone. The Vbridger improved parameters for vocals is worth it. It's worth it. The improved vocal parameters is really good. I'm very much a fan of the enhanced vocal parameters. So I do not regret having Vbridger. I do regret trying to work with an iPhone. What was I going to write next? You're funny as heck, have great taste in short film. Oh. Babinka! Babinka Bear and George. George showing off his own handiwork. Hello, Babinka Bear. Hello, Raiders. For the Raiders, I am Almantas, former professor, current VTuber, old man who loves old things. How was the Digimoning? How was the Digimoning? For the Raiders, I am Almantas, former professor of sociology and current VTuber. I'm an old man who loves old things. I do lots of calligraphy and I paint miniatures, and I occasionally share my academic experiences. And today I'm doing birthday letters because several of my friends have birthdays late June, early July. Mabel's birthday is on the 3rd. Nuna's birthday was over a week ago. And Miano's birthday was on Sunday, which I did nothing to help him celebrate because I'm a horrible friend. Babinka Bear, thank you for the raid, and obviously if you need to raid and run, you are welcome to do so, and I should also make sure that I say hello to the other raiders. Obviously, hello George. George is responsible for my animated emotes. Hello Fokozabar. Hello Seishun_was_here. And I'm just glad to see you. I'm just glad to see you. I feel like we haven't caught each other as much lately, Babinka Bear. I moved my streaming time to much later in the day, and so I'm not seeing as many people as I used to, or at least not seeing the same people as I used to. It has been kind of nice to see people who I would commonly raid into me. Yeah, I did think that. Okay, that also makes sense to me. That also makes sense to me. Was it that you were on vacation? Was it that you were on vacation? Or should I say on travel? On hemming. Working on hemming. In Japan for 2 weeks. Oh, yes, you did miss me at Offkai. Nobody told me. Nobody told me that you and George were at Offkai. I didn't even hear until afterwards. I went insane because nobody told me, because I heard that Sierra was there at like 8 p.m. on the last day. I felt crazy. I was like, where is she? Give me Sierra. I still had a good time, but I will say that was largely my fault, that I could have advertised that I was going to Offkai much more widely. It would have been, I did not make it easy to know that I was there. I could have done I could have done a much better job at making it easy to know that Almantas VT was there. So let's make sure I get your name spelled correctly. Alright, Tohuvohu, have a good night. Yeah, I was actually contemplating canceling like the week of. I was very anxious. Babinka. I didn't bother asking which color you like Babinka Bear because blue just feels like the correct color to use. I know yellow is more often kind of your color, but your coat always felt very blue to me. I don't have a yellow pen. There we go. The blue is turning out incredible. This blue is looking... The camera's being very kind to this blue. Let's turn that off a little bit. Ooh, let's let Lightbox Kun cool down for a second, because Lightbox Kun is on fire right now. Lightbox Kun is burning right now. I'm gonna scald my hands in a minute if I don't let this calm down. But yes, this is I believe Iroshizoku Amairo. It's an old lightbox. I believe it's pre-LED. It is by Portatrace. It is by Portatrace. This one I've had for a long time. I don't think it is in a state where I'm not entirely sure what type of light source it is because it's too thin to be tungsten. And if it is tungsten, there's no way, right? There's no way. If it is tungsten, if I was using a tungsten lamp with this level of intensity, it would be on fire right now. It would have lit my apartment on fire like several times over. But I don't quite. Maybe it's just really bad. LED. Oh, Skellingtons is still here. Oh yeah, Skellingtons is still here. Kira. Oh, Kira's never been here before, so Kira doesn't know about this. Kira doesn't know about this. Hold on. Kira. I assumed that everybody from Kara's community had gone to bed. So hold on a second. Kira doesn't know about this. Kira doesn't know that Almantas is real. It's real. It's not just a model. It's real. Yeah. I brought him with me to Offkai. And to Magfest for that matter. We didn't get a lot of photos of him. We've got a photo. We actually did get a photo of me with him in Nuno. Yes. Hello, people bees. Is this what wakes you from your slumber? Yeah, no, you saw this so much. Bear is crazy. Bear is insane. Yes. Hold on. Let me grab her account. It's actually not much of a story. It's actually not a ton of a story. Hold on, I just find the right way to do the shout out. Saf, there we go. Hold on. You're playing the crowd? Okay, I'm fucking you up. I'm stepping on my crowd's toes. Oh, you came with Binka. Yes. So Saffron, that's her YouTube. She's not she's not really on Twitch. She prefers the TOS differences on YouTube to the ones on Twitch, so she's much more on YouTube than here. Lady Saffron is a dear friend of mine. I don't know if I talk to Saffron a lot. Saffron's a very good friend of mine. And she's made sock puppet models, and she made a sock puppet for Luxuria, and I saw it on her Twitter, I saw on Lux's Twitter that she had the real version of the sock puppet, and then I went to Saf and I said, "Hey, can I get a sock puppet? Can I also get a sock puppet like you did for Lux?" And then that's not true. We've got 10 more minutes. And then she said, "Sure, that'll be $90 and it'll take me about 2 weeks." And I was like, that seems simultaneously very fast and very expensive, but okay. And then a week and a half later, she emails me a fully rigged model file, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I meant the physical one. But thank you. And so I now use this model, right? This is a model that I use. Yeah, I think she upped the prices, but she doesn't do it very often. She doesn't really like to do the sock model very much. She prefers to do the chapel model, as she calls it, and those are like $400. They're much more expressive, right? They're a much more complete model. They're much more of a thing. The sock model is kind of a gimmick. Something like that. I don't have one. Nando uses one. She and Nando and Cleo use them. Nando uses his only model. And the yeah, so then she came over to my place for dinner. She was in town. Saf came to town, and she came to visit me. She's one of a handful of VTubers who has visited my apartment and had dinner that I cooked. And she brought the sock. Yeah, Saf, Kari, Woody have all had dinner with me. Of course it was Kari. Of course Kari was the first one. Of fucking course Kari was the first one. She just comes out of the walls if you become a VTuber. But yeah. I made peanut noodles for her. Very annoying to me. Very annoying to me is that those three people, they just don't like food. They're just not into food. Yes, Kari Charybdis is a dear friend of mine. Yeah, these are my raiders. These are the this is my raid page for today. But skeletons. It's not wrong in general, but it's very annoying to try to cook for people who just don't like food. When it's my main thing that I love to do for people is to cook for them, and my cooking is like my main art form, it's a little bit frustrating, right? It's a little bit frustrating to do something for somebody that they're just like never really going to love. They were grateful, right? But it was, if I'd cooked for other people, right, it would have been I've only cooked a little bit for Niano, and I'm sure that if I cooked like actual full meals for Niano, he'd lose his mind. Yeah, you got a small taste of it. You got a small taste of it. You did not get the I would say it's actually my main art form, Artio. I would say it's my most competent art form. I'm a better cook than I am anything else. I am mostly a hugger. is what is my, to the extent that I have a love language. It's I'm mostly a hugger. I hope so. I hope so, Niano. I hope so. Well, I mean, okay, hold on. I need to take care of that. Disconnected my keyboard. I disconnected my keyboard. I will say, Archa, that making fresh bread is really easy. Making fresh bread has enormous payoff for the amount of labor actually involved. It seems way more challenging than it actually is. It's actually quite easy. Let's hold on 1 second here. Practice sheet, calm sheet, raid sheet. We're out of space on the raid sheet. If I get two more raids, I'm in trouble. That's Mabel. There we go. Muna. Yeah, bread is. People overestimate bread's complexity enormously. The payoff for making your own bread is enormous. The payoff is really, really high. Fresh bread is an incredible escalation in quality over anything you can buy at the store. And it's just not hard. If you're doing sourdough, sourdough is its own art form. Sourdough is its own art form. There's a VTuber, I forget who it is. She's some sort of like pink angel, and she mostly like she's like sourdough itself. I've only ever seen her playing Helldivers, and but she's like a sourdough person. She's not a like bread person. She is a sourdough person. Yes, Tenchi Hazuki. I thought it was something with an H. There's a bit of a challenge in VTuber land, where there's so many names that are just Japanese names, but in only Romaji, it's very difficult for me to remember. So my thing that happened with sourdough is that my last 2 sourdoughs, I dropped the jar and they broke. And like now there's glass in your starter, so it's you just have to throw it out. And it's just and it was just so heartbreaking. I just haven't touched a starter in a while. Oh no, don't want that one. Almost made a disastrous mistake right there. Almost made a disastrous mistake right there. There we go. This is what I was looking for. There we go. I'm impressed that I remember what I was going to write when I came back to this, though it took me just a second to remember. Ooh, that's a lot of dietary restrictions. I am vegan. I've been vegan for a very long time. So I do know how to play around that one, but gluten-free does make things challenging. Gluten-free does kind of like completely write off bread, my entire understanding of bread. And Babinka Bear, have a lovely night. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for entrusting your community with me. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Let's hold on a second here. Oh, okay, I see what's broken here. Okay, I see what happened here. There we go. No, that's what we want. I think that should be good. It is like having a pet. It is probably the closest I've had to having a pet in a long time. In some ways, more so than having plants. So, playing around a little bit with different V's. Oh my goodness, that is very brutal, Archie. I'm sorry. That's very brutal. Yeah, Ditigris, I take iron supplements. I don't know if I would need to take iron supplements if I didn't donate blood with some frequency. But I do, so. I think I might call this. I think this might be... I think this is good. I think this is good. There we go. Ooh, good scratches. There we go. That's totally off screen. That's totally off screen. That was very foolish of me. That was very silly of me. Okay. Now, stretching my neck a little bit, and let's zoom this out a little bit. That's my mic. And happy birthday, Nuna. You're a good lad who knows too much about guns. Funny as heck, have great taste in short film, and you're never, ever boring. Almantas. We are going to get hit by ads in just a minute. Those 10 minutes are up. It is time for the ads. I will see you fellas in a few minutes, and we're going to run the ads, and I'm going to stretch and get some water because that's how I live my life. And I'll see you in a few minutes. All right. I'm back. I'm back. What now? What now? What now? The lunar? That would be there. And let's get... Oh no, Brown, go. I know, right, George? We're going into number 3. We're going into number 3. Don't tell me here, George, because I won't remember, but I want to know when your birthday is. I mean, you can tell me here, but I'll just forget. And that's just life. But the George day. That's the one I want to put away. It's the one I want to use. Yes, that's correct. This is the one I want to use. This isn't lined up properly. I'm trying to get clever, and that's not doing. It's something of an irony that because I don't like to make a fuss out of my own birthday. Okay. I'm going to be the least sappy for the closest friend, as is tradition. Oh, the mic is too far away. Oh, we're running into collisions. Hello, Pickles Little Do. Hello, Pickles Little Do. Oh. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw that. All right, Kira Cat. Have a good night. Have a good night. It was lovely. I do this every Monday at 10 p.m. I will be streaming at 10 p.m. tomorrow, and a movie night on Wednesday at 10 p.m., and then a collab off of my channel. I will not be here on Saturday, but I will be live. I will be performing, and I will tag the Al appearances. Not quite decided. I am going to, because it's 4th of July, so I'm trying to figure, I'm a little bit undecided, and I'll probably put up a poll in the server, in the announcements. I really need to redo the entire server one of these days. I am going to... like, the movie Independence Day is in consideration. I'm considering Glory. I feel like I should be very, very American. And it turns out that, so I like to do like an artsy movie and then a not artsy movie. Your citizenship stream, yes, yes. Hello, Kari. Hello, Kari. Yeah, the Tar Reservoir Dogs. Yes, yes. Yeah, I'd like to do a Tar movie and a Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, so America got the bad ending. It's true. We got the shrimp and the bug. Have joined us now. Shrimps and bugs have joined us. Unstoppable power. shrimps is bugs, but also I do not know if Kari you're aware of this, that bugs is in fact shrimps. But was met with indifference. Oh no. I didn't know that there was a bug party there. But yes, the most Reservoir Dogs movie that is possible about America. The thing is, all of the movies that are like about America and like the 4th of July in particular, are all Reservoir Dogs. I can't figure out any movies that are like Independence War related that are tar. The closest I can come up with is 1776, which is insane. And it's not even like the whole movie, it's literally just the song Molasses. Like, that's it. Nothing else about that movie is tar. The bugs and the bugs and the shrimps are just saying hello back and forth. I've got NPC. I've got NPC arthropods in my chat. Yes, you did. You're becoming NPC core. Oh, you guys got screwed by the heat now? It is not just those East Coasters who are melting. $90F on the Pacific. That's about as bad as it is out here. That's about as bad as we're getting it. I made an extraordinarily stupid decision today, which was I went on a run, basically like first thing. I pretty much just like woke up and got dressed and went for a run, and I forgot that I forgot to hydrate properly before I ran. And so at the 3-mile mark, I was just cooked. I was gassed in our phrasing. I can't believe that Nano disappeared during that ad break. Truly, he is a cat. Dying. That's pretty. That's true. That's true. I'm assuming the dying local amusement park isn't Disney. I don't think we lost Nano in the ad dimension. I think we lost Nano to Wizard's Trick. Yeah, there's quite a few places like that in the world. I've nearly died of heat stroke. Oh, Magnus_Desolaire. Thank you for the follow. I've been hydrating less strongly than I usually do. Oh, I did not see the Almantas. Thank you, Blue. Thank you, Blue. I enjoyed this redeem greatly. You want the almond before you head to bed? That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Hello, Miss Moshevis. Hello, hello, hello. It's good to see you. Good to see you, my dear. Tech Booth Tito, thank you for the follow. Just popping in while you can. You've been pretty old, man. That's kind of you to say. That's kind of you to say. I've been an almond. I've been going nuts, as they say.
says button. Ah. Oh, Kira brought me here. That's very sweet of her. That's very sweet of her. That's very sweet of her. What got you, Miss Moshivus? I wonder if I should have tagged the stream ASMR. It's a little bit late for that. Feels extra serene here. I've been feeling extra serene. I will probably not be going too much longer for what it's worth. I'm trying to take it a little bit easier. Hello. Hello, Midori. Hello, Midori. Probably closer to 10 minutes. Probably closer to 10 minutes. That's probably where we're at. 10:15, I think, is probably what I'm thinking about. Which means that I will take suggestions for a raid target at the moment. I have 2 friends. 2 of my close friends are online. 2 of my common raid targets are options, but I'm very much open to suggestions. Where did I put that pen? No one you know is live. That happens. That happens. That happens. I can take a look, but we're going to first take a look at what I just wrote. Adjust the camera a little bit so you can see the whole thing. Nyanamancer, upon your birthday, I gift ye glad tidings, affirmations of esteem, reminders of our shared history, and prayers for a better future. No refunds. Almantas. I think he'll appreciate that. I think he'll appreciate that. Let me... I think I'm funny. I think I'm funny. I need to wash my mouse pad. There we go. Let's take a look at the schedule. Oh, that's not the schedule. That's the schedule. And schedule. Yes, Grunkle Stan. I appreciate Grunkle Stan a lot. I think I'm much more like Ford than I am like Stan, if we're being honest. So, today was the calligraphy stream. Tomorrow, Lore Master of Sotek and I will be doing a stream about lore. Me and Lore Master have had one conversation, and it was about the changes to Kislev. Yeah, shout out to Sotek. I hope that worked. I hope I spelled his name right off of memory. I did spell his name right off of memory. Heck yeah. I may as well follow him while I'm thinking about it. But Sotek and I have had one conversation, and it was about how the Warhammer Fantasy nerds, the Warhammer Fantasy guys, tried to change the Kislevian lore to be less politically controversial in the context of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, but the changes they made actually made it more. They actually made it considerably more so, and so that was a very fun conversation. And that was very fun. And so he said, "Hey, let's do something. Let's see how we're doing. Let's see how we vibe together." And I'm like, "Heck yeah," because I think he's very cool. Wednesday is a movie night. We are not going to be watching Moon and Spaceballs. I am stalling those into later in the month because the moon landing was July 20th. So we're going to be watching Moon and Spaceballs after the moon landing, after July 20th. Yeah, George has not heard. George, you have not heard my philosophy about movie watching. My philosophy about movies is to do one art movie and one not art movie, one cool down movie. To do a Tar followed by a Reservoir Dogs. So, you know, we did one of my favorite ones we did recently was Downfall followed by Inglorious Bastards. Hello, Vera. Oh, hold on. It's Vera. It's Vera. It's Vera. Sorry, Vera is like... Oh no, I'm being rate limited. It's Vera. It's Vera. Vera's so cool. Vera's like the coolest person. Vera is cool maxing. I cannot describe how much I appreciate and am excited by like seeing Vera around. I did not meet Vera until Offkai, and just like instantly one of my favorite people. Just so cool. I don't even have the words for it. Words fail me. Vera, because you're here and because you're cool, give me a raid target. Give me a raid target. You get to pick a raid target. And then on Saturday, John Ken Palm, I will be on John Ken Palm's channel. John Ken had a completely insane idea for a collab. We're going to be doing a tier list. Me and Squeegee and John Ken are going to do a tier list. I think he mostly just wanted to get me and EG on the channel together at the same time. Me and EG and John Ken are going to do a tier list of how sexy are different letters of the alphabet. I'm impressed with his game right now. Yeah, I'm sorry, Vera. I am kind of tired. I may as well show you that I may as well show off what I did today. This was Nyanomancer's birthday. It was Nyanomancer's birthday on Sunday. It was Nuna's birthday at the start of during Off-Kai, and it is Mabel's birthday, my friend Capable Mabel's birthday, on the 3rd. So I need to get that over to her birthday card. And here were my raiders today. I had quite a few raiders today. I need to get out of here before I get another raid because I'm out of page space. Actually, hold on. I can do something about that. No, mouse, cooperate with me. Stop raids. There we go. I only got one comp today. Only one comp today. But yeah, I'm sorry, Vera. You came in at the tail end. I'd normally like to keep going for another 2 hours or so, but my throat hurts and I'm tired and I need to take it easy this week. I am behind on other deadlines for this week. So I'm trying to take it slightly easier this week. But who is online? Who is online that I am following? Who is online that I am following? Okay. I don't want to send people to somebody too loud, but nobody who I actually know is super chill right now. I also don't tend to follow too many chill people. Yeah, Bloom might be the chillest person I follow. I was about to say Tobbs, but Tobbs is in a stream with Hina, so that's absolutely not going to be the vibe. Genuinely am considering Mako. Who is not chill, but at least she's Mako. What do you say, Vera? Mako or Bloom? Offloading cognitive effort here. While I'm doing that, here are my socials. I actually do update the Goodreads with some frequency. I've gotten a couple of people have come here from Goodreads, which is the funniest thing on the planet to me. I do have a Blue Sky. I took it off because I got logged out of Blue Sky, and then they let me back into Blue Sky, so I guess I may as well put that back in. Those are my socials. Twitter tends to be where I post big updates. Goodreads is where like the cool stuff happens. But the real place where I'm at is Discord. My Discord is a sweet little place. My main thing there is I like people to share their art. The Galeria Personal is, as far as I'm concerned, the main draw of it. But it's a sweet little place. I do movie nights every week. I do community game nights much more infrequently than that. Okay, so Bloom... Oh, Ratmos just started. Ratmos just started. I am so indecisive. This is always the hardest part of a stream for me, is figuring out how to raid. You'll take a rain check, you little bastard. You little bastard. The hardest part for me. Gravy's not live, is he? Gravy's not live. I'm just going down. Oh, Celeru. I'm just looking down my list. Celeru. Ratmos might be who I go with. Okay, folks. First one to answer. Old man, quiet lady, or rat? Rat. Okay, we're going to Ratmost. This is somebody who I've done collabs with. Sorry, Celeru, it's Ratmost. Oh, now I'm second guessing myself. I said okay. I'm switching my guns. I'm switching to my guns. Actually, no. I'm sorry, Blue. Tiebreaker. It's Celeru. It's Celeru. It's Celeru. I haven't done Celeru. I've never rated Celeru before. What? Hold up. Is that the right Celeru? No, that doesn't look like her symbol. That is her. Okay. That's... There we go. We're going over to Celeru. She is playing Stellar Blade. McAllistrine, hello, welcome in. Welcome in. I didn't see you there this entire time. It's good to have you here. Thank you all for joining me again tomorrow. Nuna, did you see? Hold on. Nuna, did you see? Yeah, Nuna, hold up. Nuna, I made birthday card for you. I'll send you a picture of it later. But yeah, it's the end of the night for me. Coolly, oh no, hello. You were hiding? You just got home? Okay, I am tired. I'm tired. But yeah, Nuna, I made you a birthday card. Because you're my friend, and I appreciate you. Alright, it looks like we're done. Here. So, much love to all of you. Have a lovely, lovely night, and goodbye.